Today we're taking a look at these NBA matches, which are happening on Monday, March 27, 2023, and giving you our team and total picks for today. Welcome back to High Stakes. Before we dive into our video, don't forget to subscribe and to push the notification bell so you don't miss any of our videos. Also check out our Patreon if you want access to our premium picks. Our Patreon is a way for us to help you improve your chances of making more money, and if you are interested in props and parlay picks, check out our new channel High Stakes Props and Parlays, where you can find our player props and parlay picks predictions. You will find the link to our Patreon and to our new channel in the description and comments section below. Dallas Mavericks vs Indiana Pacers. The Dallas Mavericks continue to stumble as the regular season heads into the final stages. They have now dropped 4 consecutive games, including 2 straight ugly defeats against the last-place Hornets this past weekend. They are not a reliable squad when on the road, winning just 14 of 37 road games on the season. Furthermore, the Pacers have the confidence they can beat this Mavericks team, considering they already won the first meeting by a 124-122 score in Dallas last month. Doncic and Irving played in that game. Dallas has been hit or miss offensively, averaging only 111.4 points in their last 5 games, below their season average of 113 points. Our team pick Indiana Pacers plus 2 points. The initial thought is that if Luka Doncic is not in the game, there will not be as many points scored, but this will not be the case. Take into account how often Doncic plays his isolation game, holding the ball until late in the shot clock before making his move. Doncic is a classic ball stopper, and without him in the game, the Mavericks will likely play faster than their 28th ranked tempo. Indiana plays fast regularly and has the 8th fastest tempo in the league. They play small ball lineups frequently, especially when Miles Turner is out. In Indiana's last game, they scored 130 points but still got beaten handily as they gave up 143 to the Hawks. 4 of the last 6 Pacers games have gone over the total, and this one will too. Take the over. Milwaukee Bucks vs Detroit Pistons. It's usually wise to be wary of spreads this large, but the Bucks have already beaten a healthier version of this Pistons team while also missing Chris Middleton, among others. The way the Bucks are playing now, they're certainly capable of beating Detroit by more than 15, and we saw a glimpse of that against the Spurs, who they beat by 36 on March 22. That's a comparable team to Detroit, and this game should have a similar outcome. The Bucks on paper are beating the Bucks 99% of the time this season, so the question is by how much. I think they get another blowout win over them this time as they inch closer to clinching the Eastern Conference's top spot. Our team pick is Bucks minus 15 points. A loss to the Denver Nuggets on Saturday ended a 3-game winning streak, but Milwaukee still heads into their final 8 games with the best record in the NBA. They're trying to fend off Denver, who they have 3 games on, and Boston, who they are ahead of by 2 games. The Bucks are 39 since the calendar flipped to 2023, and the surge has them primed for home court advantage throughout the postseason. Denver besting them on Saturday was a bump in the road, but there's no shame in losing the second leg of a back-to-back against the Western Conference's top team. Milwaukee held a 3-point advantage at halftime, but proceeded to get outscored by 26 in the second half, ultimately falling 126-109. Their defense struggled to force misses, the offense couldn't get shots to fall, and they were out-rebounded. Giannis Antetokounmpo still managed to finish with 31 points in only 32 minutes. In a season that's seen the Pistons win consecutive games once through 74 games, they're arguably playing their worst basketball right now. Since February began, Detroit is 3-19, and with a myriad of injuries that includes Cade Cunningham, Alec Burks, Isaiah Stewart, and Bojan Bogdanovic, competitiveness has been thrown out the window. Friday's 21-point loss to the Raptors marked the 5th straight for the Pistons, each of which came by double figures. The Pistons shot 24.0% from beyond the arc, finished -7 on the offensive glass, and committed twice as many turnovers, 22-11, than Toronto. Every starter was worse than -10 in point differential. Our total pick is under. Houston Rockets vs New York Knicks. The first thing the Knicks need to do is stop the bleeding on the defensive end. Thibodeau-led teams usually pride themselves on the defensive end, so the recent struggles are a bit alarming. Houston is the perfect opponent to right the ship, however, with an erratic offense that leads the league in turnovers. I expect the Knicks to up the pressure on the defensive end and to do a much better job closing out on shooters than they have during this 3-game losing streak. The Knicks are 8-2 at TS in their last 10 meetings with the Rockets, and I like that trend to continue in this matchup. With or without Brunson, the Knicks have enough firepower to take down the, at times, reckless Rockets and have the defense to slow them down. The Knicks are also 9 games over .500 at TS at home this season, while the Rockets are 11 games under .500 at TS on the road. In addition, the Rockets are just 2-10 in the second game of back-to-backs this year. take the Knicks minus 12.5 points. These games will be played at a high pace with the Knicks wanting to take an easy with. New York will be full of injured with their latest game coming on Thursday night. The Rockets are coming off of a big loss to Cleveland on Sunday night, so fatigue will be an issue and allow for easy buckets in transition. The over is 5-0 in the Rockets' last 5 road games. The over is 4-1 in the Knicks' last 5 games playing on 3 or more days rest. Take the over 132.5 points on Monday. Phoenix Suns vs Utah Jazz. Despite Utah's current 3-game losing streak, the Jazz have actually covered the spread in 7 of their last 9 games. On the season, Utah is an impressive 41-31 ATS, but they're dealing with too many injuries right now. Even though the Suns haven't had a good month in terms of wins and losses, Devin Booker has been lights out in March. Phoenix finally covered on Saturday for the first time in 8 tries, and I think that will jumpstart them as they continue to jockey for playoff position and home court advantage. I like the experience and offensive prowess that Booker and Paul bring to the table against a young Utah team that could be without its most critical players once again on Monday. Give me the Suns to cover. Phoenix is coming off of a 125-105 home win over the 76ers on Saturday that ended a 3-game losing streak. Devin Booker had 29 points and 5 assists, but it was Bismack Biyombo's 17 points, 13 rebounds and 5 blocks that stuffed the stat sheet in place of DeAndre Ayton, who missed his 4th straight game with a right hip contusion. Booker continued his hot streak over the past month. In his last 11 games, he is averaging 33.8 points per game on 58.5% shooting. He leads Phoenix with 28.2 points per game this season. Paul chips in with 13.6 points and 9.1 assists per game. Ayton averages 18.3 points and 10.1 rebounds per game. He has been upgraded to probable for Monday's game. The Suns are 18th in the league with 113.7 points per game. They'd shoot just 46.9% from the field, but they make 12.3 3-pointers per game. They shoot 37.7% from downtown, which ranks 6th. Utah is still in the hunt for the final play-in spot in the West, but their current 3-game losing streak isn't helping their cause. A 121-113 loss to Sacramento on Saturday put the Jazz in a tie with Dallas 1 game behind Oklahoma City for the 10th spot. Walker Kessler scored a career-high 31 points and grabbed 11 rebounds on Saturday, while leading scorer Lauri Markkanen sat out his 2nd game in a row with a hand injury. Colin Sexton, Jordan Clarkson and Rudy Gay also remained out for Utah with injuries. Thanks to Booker, Phoenix has been on an impressive stretch of scoring points, but they've also been giving them up. The over has hit in the Suns' last 5 games. In fact, the under has only hit once in their last 11 games. Utah has been on a similar stretch, as the under finally hit in one of their games for the first time since February 28. The Jazz have an over-under split this season of 42-31 in favor of the over. Utah has allowed at least 120 points in 4 straight games, including a home loss to Milwaukee on Friday, where the Bucks put up 144. Phoenix has been playing at a faster pace in recent weeks, and I'm never worried about Utah's ability to score. I like the over.